Today I wanted to share with you what I would call my life-changing skincare products. I've been into skincare for a really long time, and I thought that it would be a good thing to show you the top 5 most effective products that I use. Most of them I've used for years and they're very tried and true. Okay, so this first thing I discovered years ago, and I avoided buying it completely for as long as I could when it first came out because I thought it was crazy expensive, and I still think it's crazy expensive, but it's incredible. Let me explain. This is the Kate Somerville Exfoliate Intensive Exfoliating Treatment. You know when you're having those really dull kind of drab skin days, maybe you have dry patches, maybe patches are oily, you know, just one of those days. I hate those days, and you probably do too. I grabbed this. This is kind of a worst case scenario emergency product. I try to use it really sparingly, but it seriously, if you're having one of those days, there is nothing that works better. Okay, so a little bit of a breakdown. It's a little weird. It's green and has kind of a cinnamon kind of fall type scent. It smells really nice actually. It's got tiny little granules that feel almost like sand in it. I use this about once a month, and you are left with what I have found to be just glowing, beautiful, unpatchy, oh, just the most luscious skin of all the skins that have ever skinned. It's great. I really recommend you try this. I'm kind of all for saving money where you can, but sometimes a product's worth the money, and I think this one is. Do you want to hear something crazy though? I think the big tube of it is like $90, so I'm gonna pass on that. And I do want to say that I've had this for months and it's not anywhere near used up, and I've used it a couple of times, so I don't know, it's just when something's really expensive I use it like I'm putting gold leaf on my face or something. I don't use it unless I need it. Next is something else that I've kind of dabbled in for a lot of years also. I've always been lucky enough that my mom was really into skincare and kind of set me off on that path. I would always swipe little drops of this next product from my mom because it was always sitting on her counter when I was a teenager. She knew, I always asked, so don't worry. And I guess I realized that my skin looked insanely good the next morning after I used it. This is the Obagi Professional C Serum in 15%. I don't think you have to go for this brand. It's kind of a hard brand to get your hands on, I think. But just in general, a vitamin C serum is such a vital step to a good skincare routine, in my opinion. It really speeds up cellular turnover, which really just translates to your skin getting rid of all the nasty dead skin and more quickly regenerating with fresh, nice, you know, just baby skin. I don't know. This is another thing I try to use really sparingly, and I'd love to find a less expensive brand in this, and I'm sure you can. I've seen all sorts of vitamin C serums on the market, and I intend to try them, but so far this has just been my love. The incredible thing about it is that if you have any blemishes, any discoloration, it gets rid of a blemish almost overnight for me, which is just incredible. You can use it as kind of a spot treatment, which I sometimes do as well, because again, trying to use it like it's gold from the heavens. It works so well. I could not possibly rave to you enough about a vitamin C serum. It also, as I said, really helps with getting rid of like pigmentation, and after you have a blemish, you know how it like chills out on your face forever, and it's like, why do I have this like dark mark here from like 2 months ago? That's not really fair, is it? This really speeds that up because it's making your skin more rapidly turn over cells. All in all, I can't believe how effective this has been in my life, and I won't go without it ever again. The only couple of warnings that you'd need to be aware with this is that it can cause sensitivity, and it does cause sensitivity to the sun. If you're a freckler, you'll freckle easier. If you're a burner, you'll burn easier, and you just really need to use sunscreen. That's all. Next, this is something that I actually just talked about in my current favorites video. This is a bit newer than any of the other skincare products that I'm talking about today. This is the Kogen Do Cleansing Spa Water, and it is amazing. I know that sometimes buying water at a beauty store can seem ridiculous. I can totally remember thinking that, you know, what person goes into a store and buys a bottle of, you know, expensive water? Me. I'm that person now. But let me defend myself. Often when you are buying these types of packaged water, they have a lot of great ingredients in them, and this one just happens to take off your makeup crazy well. And then the most magical part of it is that it leaves your skin feeling so clean, but so hydrated in all the right ways. You know, in that way where it's like, oh, my skin feels lovely and plump, but it's not feeling greasy and it's not feeling dried out from washing it. It just feels perfect. I also can skip my moisturizer when I use this. Basically, magical. I really recommend you try this. Next, I have another mask. I'm a big fan of masks. I just think it's like, I don't go get facials. I do like to have a few different skincare things in my arsenal that really work. This is the Ren Glycol Lactic Radiance Renewal Mask. It has different naturally derived acids in it. There's glycolic acid from pineapple, lactic acid from passion fruit, citric acid from lemon. They all work together to just take away the dead skin and do it in a very gentle manner. This is one that I would really recommend for those of us with sensitive skin. This is also said to minimize pores, diminish hyperpigmentation, and possibly reduce the appearance of fine lines in as little as 10 minutes. And that sounds like an advertisement, but trust me, it's not. I just really like this. It's not quite as like kick butt as Exfoliate, but it's much lighter. You can use it on a more frequent basis, and while it's still expensive, it's a way bigger tube and it lasts forever. It always leaves my skin just looking really healthy, and I notice that often after I've used this, that's when I get the comments of, hey, your skin's looking real good, and I'm like, I know why. Finally, number 5 is a cheapie but a goodie. That's definitely a phrase now. This is the Clean and Clear Persogel 10% benzoyl peroxide. So this is another thing that I found a very long time ago. I found this sometime in high school. It's kind of like an overnight miracle almost. So this is just one of those old school, like, you know, you do your skincare and then blob on like big white patches of, it's a very attractive look. You know the look. Looks great. Usually I like to do it about an hour before bedtime so it can dry and I don't get it on my pillow. I always leave it on overnight, and a lot of the times I wake up in the morning with a blemish like incredibly diminished or completely gone. You know the difference between an angry, active blemish and one that's like past its heyday? That's kind of what this helps speed along. If you do have a problem with the occasional breakout, acne in general, I would really recommend this. Hey everybody, I hope that helped a bit. These are all things that I really stand by, and I've been using for years, all of them. Let me know if you already use any of these things and what you think about them. I'm always curious to hear what you guys think, and I'd love it if you stick around. I make videos every week on here with DIYs and travel stuff and beauty stuff, all sorts of stuff. It's fun. Come join me. You can always find me on Instagram and stuff, or you can leave a comment down below if you have any questions. All right. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.